Have you ever found yourself wondering what truly matters as you navigate the golden years of your life? Picture this. Dr. Karen Lewis, a vibrant 72-year-old from Portland, Oregon, has spent decades caring for others as a beloved family physician. She's seen it all, the joys, the heartaches, and the sacrifices that often come with aging. But one day, while sipping her morning coffee, she had a revelation that changed everything. She realized that in her quest to help others, she had overlooked something vital, her own self-worth. As we age, it's all too easy to put the needs of family, friends, and even strangers above our own. We often feel pressured to compromise on our values, our time, and even our happiness. But what if I told you that there are certain things you should never sacrifice for anyone, especially if you're between 65 and 75 years old? The truth is, protecting your self-worth is not just important, it's essential for living a fulfilling life. In today's video, we're diving into 7 crucial things that you must hold on to fiercely, no matter the circumstances. And trust me, the most vital tip will be revealed exclusively to our subscribers. So, if you want to unlock this wisdom and ensure you're living your best life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming up, and while you're at it, drop a comment below, sharing the city and country you're watching from. Let's build a community where we can support each other and share our experiences. Your voice matters, and together we can empower one another. Now let's jump into the first thing every senior must never compromise: your health. Dr. Lewis often reminds her patients that health is the foundation upon which everything else is built. It's easy to prioritize the needs of others, whether it's caring for grandchildren, volunteering, or simply being there for friends. But neglecting your own health can lead to a downward spiral that affects every aspect of your life. Imagine this. You're at a family gathering, and everyone is enjoying a delicious meal. You feel the pressure to indulge in foods that don't sit well with you, just to fit in or avoid disappointing someone. But Dr. Lewis would say, your body is your temple, honor it. This means making choices that nourish you, even if it means saying no to that extra slice of cake or opting for a healthier option. Taking care of your health isn't just about physical well-being. It's also about mental and emotional health. Engaging in activities that bring you joy, practicing mindfulness, and surrounding yourself with positive influences are all part of this equation. Dr. Lewis emphasizes that when you prioritize your health, you're not just benefiting yourself, you're also setting an example for those around you. So, as you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, are there areas where you've compromised your health for the sake of others? It's time to reclaim that power. Remember, you deserve to feel your best, and by doing so, you'll be in a better position to support those you love. Stay tuned, because in the next section, we'll explore another vital aspect of self-worth that you should never sacrifice. Don't forget to subscribe and share your personal experiences in the comments below. Your journey is important, and together we can inspire one another to live fully and authentically. As we dive deeper into the essential things you should never sacrifice for anyone, let's reflect on the importance of self-respect. It's not just a buzzword, it's a cornerstone of your well-being, especially in these golden years. Dr. Emily Hart, our fictional expert in geriatric psychology, emphasizes that self-respect is the foundation upon which we build our happiness and fulfillment. When you respect yourself, you set the tone for how others treat you. It's a powerful message that resonates deeply, especially when navigating relationships that may demand more than they give. Now let's explore how to identify and resist those unnecessary sacrifices. Picture this. You're at a family gathering, and someone suggests you take on a task that you know will drain your energy. Maybe it's organizing the family reunion or babysitting the grandkids for the weekend. While it's natural to want to help, it's crucial to ask yourself, is this truly what I want to do? Or am I doing it to please someone else? Dr. Hart advises that the first step in resisting these pressures is to tune into your feelings. If the thought of taking on that task makes your stomach churn or your heart race, it's a sign that it might not be the right choice for you. Remember, your time and energy are precious. You've earned the right to prioritize your own needs and desires. But how do you communicate this without feeling guilty? Here's where the magic of assertiveness comes in. It's not about being rude or dismissive. It's about expressing your needs clearly and kindly. For instance, you might say, "I appreciate the offer, but I need to focus on my own well-being right now." This simple statement not only protects your boundaries, but also models healthy behavior for those around you. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on the power of saying no. It's a small word, but it carries immense weight. Dr. Hart points out that many seniors struggle with this concept, often feeling that saying no is synonymous with being unhelpful or unkind. But in reality, saying no can be one of the most generous things you can do for yourself and for others. When you say no to something that doesn't serve you, you're saying yes to your own happiness and well-being. Imagine a scenario where you've been invited to a social event that you're just not interested in attending. Instead of feeling obligated, consider this. By declining the invitation, you're freeing up your time for activities that truly bring you joy. Perhaps it's a quiet evening with a good book or a stroll in the park. The choice is yours, and it's a beautiful reminder that your preferences matter. As we continue, let's delve into the importance of nurturing your passions. This is something that often gets sidelined as we age, but it's vital for maintaining a sense of self-worth. Dr. Hart emphasizes that engaging in activities you love not only boosts your mood, but also reinforces your identity. Whether it's painting, gardening, or learning a new instrument, these passions are a reflection of who you are. But here's the catch. Sometimes we sacrifice our passions to accommodate others. Maybe you've put aside your love for painting because a friend needs help with their project. While it's wonderful to support friends, it's equally important to carve out time for your own interests. After all, a fulfilled you is a better friend, parent, or grandparent. So, how do you reclaim that time? Start small. Set aside just 15 minutes a day to engage in something you love. You might be surprised at how quickly those minutes add up and how revitalized you feel. And remember, it's not selfish, it's self-care. Now let's talk about the role of relationships in your life. It's essential to surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. Dr. Hart suggests evaluating your relationships regularly. Are there individuals in your life who consistently drain your energy or make you feel less than? If so, it might be time to reassess those connections. Healthy relationships should be a source of joy and support, not a burden. It's okay to distance yourself from those who don't respect your boundaries or appreciate your worth. This doesn't mean you have to cut ties completely. Sometimes it's about creating a little space to protect your peace. As we wrap up this section, I want you to think about your own experiences. Have you ever felt pressured to sacrifice something important to you? How did you handle it? Share your stories in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone else who's facing a similar situation. And remember, if you're finding value in this content, consider subscribing. By joining our community, you'll gain access to more wisdom and insights tailored specifically for you. In our next segment, we'll explore the significance of self-care and how it intertwines with self-respect. You won't want to miss it as we uncover practical tips to ensure you're prioritizing your well-being in every aspect of your life. Stay tuned as we continue our journey through the essential things you should never sacrifice for anyone. Let's take a moment to reflect on the power of self-worth. It's not just a concept, it's a vital part of who you are, especially in these golden years. Dr. Emily Hart, our fictional expert in geriatric psychology, reminds us that self-worth is the lens through which we view our lives and relationships. When you recognize your own value, you set the stage for others to appreciate it too. Now, let's dive into some real-life stories that illustrate how seniors have reclaimed their self-worth. Take, for instance, the story of Margaret, a vibrant 70-year-old who spent years putting her family's needs before her own. She was the go-to person for every family event, every holiday gathering, and every crisis. But one day she realized that her own passions, like painting and gardening, had been pushed aside. With Dr. Hart's guidance, Margaret learned to say no to some of those demands. She started dedicating time to her art, and not only did her happiness soar, but her family began to respect her boundaries. They saw her joy and were inspired to support her newfound passion. This brings us to a crucial point: maintaining dignity in all relationships. It's easy to feel like you must bend over backward to keep the peace, but Dr. Hart emphasizes that true dignity comes from standing firm in your values. Imagine being at a family dinner where someone makes a dismissive comment about your interests. Instead of brushing it off, you could respond with grace, saying, "I appreciate your perspective, but my interests are important to me." This simple act of asserting your dignity not only reinforces your self-worth, but also encourages others to treat you with the respect you deserve. Now let's talk about practical tips for maintaining that dignity. One effective strategy is to practice active listening. When someone speaks to you, give them your full attention. This not only shows that you value their words, but also sets a standard for how you wish to be treated in return. Dr. Hart suggests that when you engage in conversations with this mindset, you create a space where mutual respect flourishes. But what happens when you encounter someone who consistently undermines your dignity? It's a tough situation, but remember, you have the power to set boundaries. For example, if a friend frequently belittles your hobbies, it's okay to say, "I'd prefer if we could focus on more positive topics." This not only protects your self-worth, but also encourages healthier interactions. As we explore these themes, let's not forget the importance of nurturing your passions. Dr. Hart emphasizes that engaging in activities you love is not just a luxury, it's a necessity for your mental and emotional well-being. Think about the last time you did something that truly brought you joy. Was it gardening, knitting, or perhaps playing a musical instrument? Whatever it was, that activity is a vital part of your identity. But here's the catch. Sometimes we sacrifice our passions to accommodate others. Perhaps you've put aside your love for gardening because a neighbor needed help with their yard. While it's wonderful to lend a hand, it's equally important to carve out time for your own interests. Remember, a fulfilled you is a better friend, parent, or grandparent. So how do you reclaim that time? Start small. Set aside just 15 minutes a day to engage in something you love. You might be surprised at how quickly those minutes add up and how revitalized you feel. And remember, it's not selfish, it's self-care. Now let's shift our focus to the role of relationships in your life. Surrounding yourself with people who uplift and inspire you is essential. Dr. Hart suggests evaluating your relationships regularly. Are there individuals in your life who consistently drain your energy or make you feel less than? If so, it might be time to reassess those connections. Healthy relationships should be a source of joy and support, not a burden. Imagine this. You have a friend who always seems to bring negativity into your life. It's okay to create a little distance. This doesn't mean you have to cut ties completely. Sometimes it's about creating space to protect your peace. By doing so, you're not only prioritizing your well-being, but also modeling healthy boundaries for others. As we wrap up this section, I want you to think about your own experiences. Have you ever felt pressured to sacrifice something important to you? How did you handle it? Share your stories in the comments below. Your insights could inspire someone else who's facing a similar situation. And if you're finding value in this content, consider subscribing. By joining our community, you'll gain access to more wisdom and insights tailored specifically for you. In our next segment, we'll explore the significance of self-care and how it intertwines with self-respect. You won't want to miss it, as we uncover practical tips to ensure you're prioritizing your well-being in every aspect of your life. Stay tuned.